hip hop, even though it did have a violent stage where they was talking about killing and robbing and all of that, and then the media would look down on these people and say, yeah, you guys are talking about robbing people and killing and doing all this criminal activity. And then, but these guys in the history books, when they read their history in school, that's what they were doing. They were doing the exact same thing, and they get away with it and build a whole country. And now he gets talked about in the history, George Washington. You know, he gets talked about in the history as, and he's a hero, and then he do the same thing, and he's locked up. He's doing 50 years in prison. So hip hop became even a more aggressive era because of that. It was like almost like, what you mean I can't talk about robbing somebody when I'm poor, when I can't even get a job? What do you mean I can't talk about killing somebody if I'm mad, when you came over here and killed a whole entire people and you were successful doing it? What do you mean I can't talk about this or that? So not only am I going to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it even more. You know what I'm saying? And every time you criticize me for talking about it, I'm going to show a mirror in your face and I'm going to say, this is America. This is what I do. Yes, I'm an American just like you. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you the next president of the United States of America.
Oh yeah, I like talking about the struggle. I like talking about coming out the struggle, and I like to show, the class differences and racial differences in that struggle. I like to really show that how you could be a black man in this country and be powerful. And I like to use that in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop it started off as the music in the streets. It was the music for the underground guys who were struggling in the ghetto. I'm saying they all got together and they used hip hop as a way to tell their stories. And so that right there, what really intrigued me, when I was young, when I would hear Slick Rick just rhyme about it was like watching a movie. This guy was telling you a story like a nursery rhyme or something out of a novel, and me being a writer myself, I really gravitated towards that. So yeah, I like to talk about struggle, tell the story of the inner city ghetto, how these young men, how we're kings, how even though we're not seen in the light of kings right now, but we're kings and we're underground, and it's bittersweet. It's sweet because I see how hip hop have became such a phenomenon to where it's a mainstream culture now. Saying if you go to any country and you say the word hip hop, they know what you're talking about. However, it's bitter because you're not talking about nothing no more. They're not inspiring young people who came from where they came from to want to achieve something other than just some bling or a nice car or a nice house, or which is understandable though, because you want to motivate your people to be successful. But when it's all about just materialistic stuff, first of all, you gotta uproot that man's self-esteem first, so he could be successful. If he don't feel like he's nothing, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that people in the ghetto feel like they nothing. That's not true. But there is because of the degradation in our communities, there is a broken spirit. You know what I'm saying, where a young man turn a gun on another young man who look like him and shoot him. You know what I'm saying? There is a brokenness that come with that, to where he feel like he can't do anything in this society. There's a broken spirit that comes with that. So in order to get him on that level to where he feel like he can achieve those things, he first got to reach that self-esteem. And once you get that self-esteem going on, then everything else follows place. But it's almost like you're flaunting in front of them. It's like having a hungry dog who haven't ate in 3 days, and you just showing, look, I got a piece of steak. You don't do it like that. If you really want that dog to have that steak, you're gonna be like, here. But then you also don't want him, you know, you want to teach him to fish. So you're not just gonna give him that steak, but you're gonna teach that dog how to hunt. You're not just gonna flaunt the steak in front of him knowing he's hungry. And that's where I feel hip hop have became. I think that commercialism, okay, that top 1% that the Occupy movement is talking about, is using it. You know what I'm saying? To use, they're using hip hop to mental oppress poor people. You know what I'm saying? Not just people of color, but people who are without, who don't have, who can't afford. You know what I'm saying? I got a nice car. I got a big house. I got this. I got that. You don't got it. You don't got it. You don't got it. Your value is placed on materialism. It's not placed on the spiritual humanity level. You know what I'm saying? And that's bad. That's bad. I know people right now who you can't even talk to them if you don't have on the right shoes. They'll be looking at you. You be having a conversation with them and they just look down at your shoes and they won't even want to talk to you after that if you don't have the right shoes, or the right belt on, or the right name brand. Yes, it's that bad right now. And hip hop have a big influence on that, you know, and because young people of color, young urban people of color have a lot of influence, and they know that. So what they do is they use that for their purposes. Why don't we use these youngsters to promote our products so we could sell them and get richer? And that's what they do. Now, instead of you talking about, yes, let's go against the system, fight the power, and you know what I'm saying? Don't settle for less. Be a man. Do this. Fight against the system. You know, educate your people. Like what KRS-One and Public Enemy was doing. Now it's about, I got my Nikes on. I got the Gucci. My swag is up. I got a fur jacket. Who owns that stuff? Not us. We don't own that. Our people don't own. We're not in control of the banks. We're not in control of the clothing, you know, departments. I mean, they let a couple in, but our people don't run that. So we really just making them richer and richer, and we're using hip hop to do that. So it's a bittersweet. It's a real bittersweet for me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's good.
Almost as a way of being defiant against the system by telling them exactly what they did for so many years, so many centuries. And like NWA, when they wrote the song F the Police, and the FBI zeroed in on them, right? The FBI. But that was the same thing that they did against Great Britain. When Great Britain was being taxed, I mean when England was taxing them without representation, they were like, fuck the system, kill them redcoats, kill them, fuck them, right? So, I mean, I think it's very hypocritical, you know, I feel post-colonial, because this country was built on murder and bloodshed and robbery, thievery, and criminal activity against humanity. And when hip hop talked about it, they try to villainize us. And that was messed up. That was messed up. You know what I'm saying? That was really messed up. And then, you know, even Eminem, when he started coming out, and you know what I'm saying, you know, nothing against him. You know, I think he's a talented individual, but he could rap about killing his mama and be a #1 rapper, X-rated. Yeah, let a black man talk about some of the stuff Eminem was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because they have. I mean, you know where they at now? They doing life in prison. Look up a guy by the name of X-rated. You know what I'm saying? He's doing life in prison just because he said he killed somebody. So I think it's a double standard, man. Post-colonialism, because they teach you to be, to love America, and but then they when you talk about the realness of America, they want to like, oh man, you're not American. Oh man, you anti this, you anti that, you a hater. I'm like, nah. I'm just speaking what's real, I'm just speaking what's real. I'm speaking exactly what you did. Oh, why you gonna judge me for it? Because I'm talking about it. Oh, I could say gun, and have everybody, oh man, no, you can't do that. But you can make them and sell them and get millions of dollars off of them and go in other countries and kill people with them. But if I just say gun, it's hella controversial. So that's a problem, yeah.
Showing the mirror for character, and it look good, so America's flattered because I chose to pick her. But will she pick me? Well, I guess we shall see. If Obama beat Hillary, can I beat Chelsea? Can my guest fit get me a press kit? And will I lose because of a woman I had sex with? The only thing they should know is how I found work when every employer said no. How they try to push me out of society. I said I would